Hi, and check us out here, another episode of Carpenter. Sorry for the late start, but here's your storyteller, Devin.
He's not sorry. I also feel like maybe I need a better name because it's like, here's your storyteller, Devin. It just doesn't...
Graven Ironclaw.
Yeah, something. We'll work on it. Okay, so we're picking up where we left off. Basically, you guys have had exposition fed to you for like the last 2 games. Mostly just filled in on all the details of what happened during the few years where you guys were gone.
It was boring.
I wouldn't go that far. It was necessary.
No,
Probably a little long.
The 2 years without him.
You guys got to. Shh. God,
Hi.
that cat sounds pissed.
Oh, that was a cat? I thought that was your child.
No.
It actually, I couldn't tell at first, but that second time I realized it was a cat.
I thought it was a kid saying, hello!
Well, he's like a child, basically. Stupid for a child.
So, does anybody remember, like where exactly did we leave off? Was there a particular mark, or did it more fizzle to a dead?
I believe...
I know there, like, I did not leave you on a big cliffhanger or anything like that. You guys were making a decision on what's happening the next morning. The only thing I remember, once Rudolph was done with his drawing, and his name isn't in front of me, and now I have no idea what it is. Edge, that guy, Jack. Jack looked at the drawing, and it was not as Rudolph remembered drawing it. Instead of being a very elaborate, intricate crocodile, it was a guy chasing after his wife. Connor had dreamwalked through Dr. Grudge's memories best he could to find that Grudge really truly was not with them when they were in the primal dream. And Sky banged Rudolph. I think that's...
So no, we had already had the detective come by, and we were trying to decide what to do next.
Okay.
I believe we had talked about splitting the party a bit, and some of us were going to go over to the library, but I don't recall what the other part. I think Jack wanted to go visit his sister and try to straighten out some of their day-to-day sort of things.
Perfect. Jack is off visiting his sister. He leaves very early.
But yeah, other than that, we were trying to decide what to do. We were going to go to the restricted section, if I recall correctly. But I don't recall what the rest of the party was going to do.
Connor questioned what was Detective Rivera, right? Yeah. He questioned him about his sister and someone named Darkholm, and he said this isn't like something I can talk to you about right now. But I can't remember what Connor was like, what his next thing or where he was going to go or what he was going to do.
So the name was Darkholm?
Yeah.
Let me look and see who that is. I have a very long list of characters. There's no way I can remember all of them.
You should put it to where you can like search them up or something on words.
I'm loading them into a different system, but it really is taking multiple weeks to get all of my stuff loaded in how it needs to be.
On the Googles.
It is not on the Googles.
Yeah, when he asked him, the guy said something to the effect of, he shows up when he needs to, or something like that.
I don't have a Darkholm on my lists at all. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm gonna.
Sure that was the name?
I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, though.
Who are all my D names? I have Denbo.
No.
All right.
There's a doctor. Someone. Now there's Ducamp.
No, I just. I sent that to everyone.
Yeah,
Whoops.
you did. I'm not gonna read it, but just
well done.
Just know that
everyone just ignore that.
Just know that I could.
Oh, fuck. Yes, no, I do know what you're talking about. Never mind, sorry. He's not on my list yet. He's further down because I'm still importing shit, and I'm looking at the wrong one. Yes. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
About
So
time.
you were questioning Rivera about that?
Yes, I was, because I knew that he had some type of connection, and he knew about everything going on in the town, and he's working with some powerful people. Did he tell us who, like, technically he's working for right now? That now that we're working for them, we're working as like a division of the police, basically, like, right?
If you all agree to that, yes.
Yeah, I
Unofficially.
believe we did,
Of course.
but I can't recall whether or not he told us the name of his organization or not.
They're the Ringtail Lodge.
That's what it is. Okay. All right.
So yeah, again, I'm not sure what exactly we're gonna go do.
Well, and feel free if you guys had made a decision last week, but you want to change it. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Okay. What were our options again? So there was the.
I mean, basically, essentially, what you're being hired by the police department for is to do more research and gather information on the cult. Find out who members are, connections, ties they have, and ultimately, through researching the cult more, the real core of your goal is to find 5 stones hidden on 5 different planes of reality. You know that the Ringtail Lodge has 1, the cult has 2. You do not know which. You don't know which ones. You knew at one point the lodge had the black stone, but Rivera has not necessarily, like, he never said we have the black one and they have this one and this one. He just said they have 2, we have 1. Could still be that they have the black one. Things could have changed in the last couple of years. You've never elaborated. You've never asked that question.
I remember he told us that there was like a door to what was basically the Feywild that they had under their control, and within there was another one of the stones as well.
Didn't say it was under their control. It's more that they know where it is, and that door is. The door isn't locked down. Getting to the door is locked down.
Okay. So far we know that the red stone, we would have to figure out how to access the dream world to get that.
You'd have to find out a way to navigate the primal dream better than you did.
Mm-hmm. That's tough. And then the green, or was it Greenstone? Was it the Feywild place?
I can tell you which ones are where. That I do have written down.
I feel like it would be a Greenstone.
Did they call it Arcadia or?
It was called. It is
Arcadia.
The 4 realms we're trying to get to are Arcadia, the Primordial Dream, the Astral Place, and
the Astral Plane.
The place.
Also a place, but a plane.
Fair enough, I guess.
My notes say place.
Astral
goddamn.
Space. My notes have Astral Space.
And what's the last one of those?
So I can tell you which ones are where. The red stone is in the Primordial Dream. The black stone, at least, was within the Shadow Realm, but you guys have at least seen that one. Arcadia houses the green stone. The Astral Space harvests the purple stone. And the 5th stone is completely unknown. The 5th stone is an opal stone, but what plane it resides on is not known currently.
It's like we're making the Infinity Gauntlet, right?
There's no opal stone, damn it.
Is that the one that's inside of a person?
You have offended him, sir.
Okay.
That's the only right response to that.
That's a lot of shit. I think Connor's most interested in trying to navigate the dreamscape more, or whatever it's called. What is it? Dream world, dreamscape?
The primal dream.
Primal dream. I think he's more interested in navigating that, but he's also like very, very tired and broken down right now. So I don't think he even has the ability to like do that at the moment. Or actually, I guess he does. Or did I restore my willpower? Yeah, we restored, right?
I don't know if your dream walking allows you to actually get a night's rest.
No, but I think we rested again or something because my willpower that I had marked off is all still there.
Well, even a full night's rest should only recover you 1.
And didn't you use more willpower while you were in the dream?
Yeah, I thought you spent all of it.
I didn't spend all of it, but there's nothing marked on here. So for some reason I erased it. Don't ask me why, but did we recover willpower at any point?
You all would have recovered 1, I think.
Yeah, for sleeping, I believe he did allow you to get a willpower back. But not your whole thing.
Are you sure all of them being marked off doesn't mean that you're completely out?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you marked them off because you only had like 2 or 3 left and you used them for something inside of Grudge's dream, and it failed.
Yeah, but then he got 1 back for the night.
So yeah, you'd have 1.
Yeah, but I didn't use all 5 in the dream.
You were already missing some.
No, I was at full.
Did you recover a bunch by getting real drunk and sauce?
Yeah, I recovered a bunch by getting real drunk and then something else. There was something else. I think resting and getting really drunk, and then I did that. I think I either have 1 or 2. But
take 2. Doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. So I'm missing 3 right now out of 5.
So Connor's putting in his bid in looking more into the primal dream, I guess, by whatever means that will be.
Yeah, maybe we could like study it more or something, try to figure out what's going on, learn some more about it, so that way the next time I try to access it, I can do better.
All right. Well, I still suggest we start looking at the books in the restricted section and try to find out more about these stones. See if any of the books there tell us about the realms and the stones before we go running off and try and retrieve anything. Maybe that'll be a good way to learn. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I know how to travel there. I just don't know what to do once we get there. So,
Rudolph, Sky?
Rudolph is probably going to go along to the library. He's not in any condition to really make his own choices at this point still.
Okay.
All right.
Sky?
Like I was saying, my girl didn't really care too much whatsoever. So I'm just going to go with the smallest group.
All right, Connor, are you coming with, or you gonna try to handle your own business?
No, I'm all right with that. Yeah, let's go there. Let's see what we can figure out.
Okay. So you guys head out to the library. And again, for everybody except for Dr. Grudge, the library is just a little different than you remember it. It's organized differently. The interior looks different. It looks like the building is. Before it was kind of a modernized facility. Now it's a little more aged. Not poorly. It's simple. It's simple. It's rustic. It feels like a small town library.
Like a fine aged wine.
Sure. And even like the layout of where the sections are, the directions that the tables and the rows of books are in, it's all different.
All right. Is there a current librarian there?
Yeah, there's like a young girl behind the counter.
Does she even bat an eye when we head over to the restricted section?
The restricted section isn't where she could see it.
Fair enough.
Like it's. I mean, you know where it's at. I guess I will just describe to them. So as you guys walk in, Dr. Grudge will lead you guys through the library. It's actually in one of the back corners of the library in the children's section. In the children's section is a large mural painted on the walls of Alice in Wonderland, including the door. The talking sleepy door character is painted on there as well with his door. You want to take it from there, Grudge?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go over to the mural there, and I'm gonna point out, because I'm trying to show you guys what to do. Is the door on the mural is actually missing the handle, the door knob. So I'm gonna go top of the shelf that houses the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And I'm pointing this out specifically so y'all know as well. And I'm gonna grab the doorknob there and place it on the painting where it belongs.
And the door slides open.
I'm gonna step inside. Is there a catalog of sorts for this room, or is this kind of free for all?
So one thing that anybody who's been in this room will notice, this has not changed. The layout, once you actually, the little man trap archway, the cage around the circular room with the large table and the tall shelves of books stacking up and up and up, none of that has changed. That is exactly the same. On the table is the same jar with a black wispy shade inside of it. And no, there is not really a catalog to this room.
All right, Sky, you have a better. I mean, I've done some research here as well, and you are also intimately. Well, you have knowledge here of this place. I do have a question though. I feel like maybe we should focus on one of the stones or one of the planes. Where do y'all think we should start?
I vote the Primal Dream because we already know a lot more about it than we do about some of the other areas, and I don't think I want to go into Arcadia anytime soon.
Fair enough. Are you willing to risk another little outing like the one y'all just got back from?
I'd prefer not to lose a few more years. I don't know a lot about how to traverse there. I don't think any of us really do, other than getting there. So
I think maybe if we could find more information on the Primal Dream, maybe we could go in a bit more prepared this time, so that way that doesn't happen again.
I mean, that's fair. I would have one suggestion though, just to be extra nice to the caretaker. She tends to hold a bit of a grudge. No pun intended.
We've noticed.
All right, so yeah, I guess I'm gonna start looking for some books on the Primal Dream, or the Primordial Dream.
Okay, Primordial Dream. You are correct. Roll me academics intelligence.
Can I assist him in this?
Yeah, you can, Eduardo, add 2 die.
Yay.
Tight. That way I don't have to roll anything.
All right, here we go. One success.
While he's doing that, I was sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but could I also make my own roll?
Sure.
No successes.
So as you're all just kind of wandering around the interior of the inner sanctum, if you will, out of that jar with the black wispiness, some of the smoke sort of starts to leak out, and it floats up and up and up, splits into three, and then just hovers in front of a couple of books. And as you guys approach those books and go to grab them, you hear an audible sigh.
Oh, goodness.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Jenkins. Appreciate the help as always. And I guess I'll grab the whichever is the rightmost book.
Okay.
I'm
not giving you book names. Fuck you. You find.
Well, no, what I was gonna say, like, what is the content of said
The Primal
book?
Dream for Dummies.
Yeah, basically.
No, not book title, but what if I spend some time reading it? What am I gonna find?
The book is about ancient cultures and their ideas on dreams, and there is some, old Native American kind of dream walk kind of rituals, things that they claim will allow somebody to go and experience the primordial dream for themselves. It doesn't call it that, it has lots of other, the dream lands, the dream planes, but essentially it just seems like a book chronicling old world rituals for dream experience.
I grabbed the center book. It's titled The Young and the Restless, Young spelled Jung.
Oh, fucking leave.
Get out!
Oh, no.
Is it too late to quit playing this game?
I'm done.
I fucking quit this game.
All right, so the rituals, are they specific or are they very general? Like, can I take notes on these rituals or?
It's kind of some stuff that'll, like, there's variance to it. A lot of it involves getting and smoking or steaming or being in a room filled with particular types of herbs, certain dietary restrictions leading up to it. Some of them do chants or dances. You can find the common threads, though.
All right, fair enough.
Clifton, did you want to grab that middle book?
Yeah, actually, that I was being serious, although
Okay.
maybe not about the title. Your call.
So the middle book is more of a modern psychology book on dreams and the importance of dreams, and more about how to interpret things you see in dreams.
So it
And-
pretty much was Young and the Restless.
Kind of. Though the writer of the book,
Not Young.
the more that you're looking into it, it's actually Scott Young. The more that you're looking into the book, it does kind of seem like this author talks about dreams as tangible things, believes in not just like psychological harm of a dream, physical harm to certain kinds of dreams. Like some of it seems very factual research based, but then there'll be whole chunks of the book that seem kind of out there, wild theories on strange interpretations, strange studies done in small remote villages on people waking up with scars and the breaking down of the psychology, not of the victims even, but of people in the tribes and why they're seeing these things and what these spots of the world represent to the dreams. Very esoteric kind of stuff, but a lot of it is about dream interpretation.
Connor is super interested in this part, and
Connor wouldn't know. This is all, unless Rudolph shares it, you shut your mouth. You shut your face. I almost said mouth and face, and it came out as maith.
So Rudolph does mention most
that
just your standard sort of dream interpretation stuff, but some of it's kind of weird. I'm gonna note down some of the weird stuff. So he's actually gonna try and find the weirdest bits and just sort of note those down.
Okay.
And now Connor goes up and starts getting really into it. I think he's especially interested in the parts where they're talking about being harmed within the dream? Because I feel like he's probably experienced this before at some point.
Sure. And so you're seeing it's there are case studies behind it. But again, it's a lot of like remote village kind of stuff. He doesn't see it firsthand. He's getting recounts of these tales, describing thoroughly the people telling the tales as well as the person harmed when he can interview that. Notes on like the kinds of abrasions and things that they have. But both of you roll me an academics intelligence.
Who's both of you?
You and me, I think.
Connor and Rudolph.
Academics intelligence.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's better. All right. I got 3.
3.
At 1.
So Rudolph, you will notice the way after a while you're seeing some patterning to the specific case studies he's choosing. He's definitely drawing some conclusion to one entity in particular. It's never named, it's never talked about outright. But just looking at the patterns and how this dude writes and the way he's choosing case studies and the way he's approaching these things, it almost seems like this isn't about dreams in general. This is about a particular dream. Almost like there's something causing this set of dreams. Not this kind of dreams, these ones. These particular ones.
And those are all tied to the primal dream then?
They're tied to dreams. The primal dream, from what you're reading and or from what Grudge is talking about, and what even this guy, when he does do sections on lore, basically what these guys are saying is dreams come from the same place. There is a place where dreams and nightmares and myths are born, and that is none of them really call it the primordial dream. It's the dreamlands, the dream planes, the dreamscape, the dreams of man. It has many titles, but you can figure it. This is the place you were, the place where dreams are made.
So these particular dreams that he seems to be implying are caused by this entity. Do they have some sort of common thread? Is there some... I'm looking for clues as to the nature of that entity.
In content of the dreams themselves, no. In ideas that the dreams push, yes. The dreams focus a little bit less on sort of like ambient fears of like, you know, you have dreams where sometimes like things are like you have a scared dream, but there's nothing really particularly scary. You just have that feeling of like, there's a bad thing. Mm-hmm. It's less that kind of thing. The dreams here seem to prey on particular things in people's lives, particular events or instances or encounters turned up to 1,000,000. The details get excruciating and painful, too in-depth, too deep. Anytime that there were wounds inflicted, there were patternings to the types of cuts or bruises that were happening.
All right, well, can I take a look at the third book?
Yeah, after you're done with yours, you walk over to the third book. The third book... How do I describe this? The third book is less a book about dreams and more a book about physics. The problem is the type of physics this is talking about. This is sort of even beyond quantum physics. It's borderline nonsense. At points, this could really be construed as the ravings of a madman who was once an academic. to a layman, this may sound like it's something brilliant, but to anybody who knows half a shit about anything, none of this works or makes sense. And that's really the best you could form off of it, just, you know, grabbing it and taking a look. The title of it are... the title of it is The Academic Findings When All Morality is Scraped Aside and All That's Left Are Essential Truths.
Sounds like an Aleister Crowley book.
It doesn't actually mean anything.
Yeah.
If you find meaning in that, you have the problem. That's what that means.
Actually, you know what I like to do?
And somebody should really write that down.
Yeah, well, it was really hard because the academic findings of morality is set aside something, something, something is all I got.
You're welcome. It's good enough. I'll know what you're talking about.
Fair enough.
Honestly, at this point, that book with the really long name will be pretty obvious. I don't care.
Yeah. So, what I like to do real quick now that I have both these books is
Can rub them together.
Oh yeah, no. Can
Open
I start
and close them several times?
Can I start taking notes and compare the ancient rituals with some of these quasi academic rantings to see if I can find if not commonalities precisely, but at least common themes where someone who was studying the lore might have been trying to tie it to modern ideas with science and whatnot. Because
roll me in academics intelligence.
Okay, because you're basically talking like string theory shit right here.
Kind of even beyond that, like just borderline babble.
So it's almost
like Zodiac Killer Manifesto babble.
Oh, that's a good one. 3 successes.
3. You know, the common line that you're finding is with a particular strain of hallucinogenic drug. The author of the babbling mentions several times taking a few different versions, but you as a chemist and a scientist would know, essentially these drugs kick off the same reaction in the brain. It's the same chemicals that these drugs would flood into your mind. But it's not like and it's not something as simple as like psilocybin. It's a particular cocktail. It's a mix of a few things in varying quantities depending on the ritual or the time.
I'd actually like to take very specific notes about that, because if it's an experiment that I could reproduce in my lab at home, I'd really like to try.
I'm not going to make up a bunch of fucking ingredients, but yes, write down generally that you have the ingredients for a dream walking ritual.
50 milligrams banana flavin.
Perfect. Jimothy root. I like it.
Is Grudge sharing this with the party? Or is this kind of
once I'm done taking notes and y'all are doing, because y'all can continue doing your thing while I start, because I'm looking at both these books. I'm going full researcher here, you know, taking notes and back and forth. So I'll definitely share the results with y'all once we come back together to compare notes. But yeah, y'all do yours research as well.
Cool. Well, those were like the only books that we found, right?
Those are the ones that were pointed out.
Okay.
I do have a question. Connor Rudolph, there was a piece of equipment that was given to y'all that unfortunately I didn't have to do tests with. The particular cabin or barn that we all talk about doesn't seem to like to stay in the same place all the time. I believe y'all were given some sort of tool or something to try and find it. Is that something y'all still have?
I believe Jack had it, right?
We can say he left it behind. That's fine.
Okay.
There's
like a finger in a jar or something, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, correct. There's some particulars that, I mean, I couldn't do anything with it because it was gone, but that finger actually belongs to kind of an interesting person as far as the lodge is concerned, and it seems that person might have a deeper link to what's happening there at the cabin. I don't know how this relates to the stone, but I definitely know that it relates on at least how to find the cabin and and why the cabin's sort of there.
I have to correct you there because this is something you would know. That finger does not point to the cabin.
No, correct.
Okay.
Right. I am aware of that.
Okay.
The finger points to a particular individual who it belongs to.
And is at the cabin?
You know what? Honestly, I always presumed so, but he's definitely at the weakest point between our realm and the primordial dream, as far as the lodge is concerned.
It's not someone in the lizard, is it?
I don't. I mean, I guess you could say in the lizard. I believe. Look. Here's what I'm told. Not sure exactly what I believe, but the individual we're talking about projects a version of himself, and that's the lizard of sorts, I think.
So, how well does everybody remember the lizard?
Well, I've never seen it.
Other than you.
I've been
Do you remember-
I've been chased by it, but I've never seen it.
Do you remember its hands?
I mean, I've been chased but never seen. Just a lot of mist, a lot of noise.
Not you, our people.
Dr. Roach, have you seen pictures of the person that
Well,
projects?
That's easy enough. I'll go over to a newspaper station and just show them the newspaper clippings of the serial killer. I believe his name was I have it here in my notes. Where is the too many notes? All right, oh, here we are. I believe his name was he was the town's founder. His name is well, he's known as Patches. So maybe not newspaper clippings, but at least a historical book. You know, funny enough, he was also the town's first serial killer.
I'm guessing matches the sketch.
No.
Oh, interesting.
Are you showing everybody the sketch right now, or are you
No,
just?
no. I was waiting to see if I recognized it.
So I mean that's what I know. I've got quite a bit of notes here, though. I think, well, there's definitely going to be some trial and error, and I believe it'd be easier in a controlled environment. But
really quick, Eduardo, what did you tell them about? I stopped to read something really quick. What did you say about the first killer in town?
His name was Patches?
That wasn't his name, but that's what they called him.
Yeah, that's what they called him. He's the
Samuel Russell.
Yeah, correct. And he was the founder of the town. Yeah.
Yes.
Correct. So
Okay, just making sure. Yeah, clicked it. It's not the guy from your drawing.
Okay. Go. It's Rudolph.
So what all did we find in these books here? I mean, academic study is not exactly my strong suit.
So, you know, what's interesting is I've taken a bit of the lore here that we have in one of these books, and this book seems to be more of a academic research paper. Unfortunately, after a while, it just kind of goes off a very wild tangent, and I'm able to tie certain commonalities between the two, and it seems like to do a proper dream walk, I don't know how y'all were doing it before, but there might be a length of drugs and certain cocktails involved.
Well, I mean, fuck, sign me up. I ain't never been shook by drugs, bud. So, you know, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
Yeah, but I think we need to get a little bit more information, though. Sorry, I'm. Some of this information was given to me very early after y'all disappeared. I think I misspoke. the lizard's not it's not this Patches. I believe if I recall correctly, the barn y'all looking for is the original home of Patches. I got my story a little mixed up here. But the lizard is still a manifestation of a person who lives there. The current I'm not even sure if you could say owner, but tenant of there. That's what the lizard is. Although again, without that without that finger, once the cabin barn moves, I wasn't able to find it.
Real quick sidebar then, if that detail was incorrect, does that mean that there's a possibility that who was in the sketch is the person? Because would Rudolph know basically like, okay.
So
Well,
yeah.
So Patches is not the person in the sketch. The Red Barn was owned by Samuel Russell, Patches, but it's not currently, and the person in the picture is not Patches. It's not Samuel Russell. The lizard, the current tenant, it might be him, but even Dr. Grudge has not seen that guy's face. I suppose you could reasonably assume that, but you have no concrete evidence for anything like that.
You haven't seen the sketch.
I have not, but I do know that the Ringtail Lodge has suspicions that the lizard is the current inhabitant, because it seems like the barn and the thinning of the plains seem to go together. Yeah, so I think I can cook up this this drug concoction. I mean, we can't all take it. There has to be at least one person sober. I mean,
typically the rituals do call for a spirit guide.
Well, it's just like some shamanistic shit here.
Yeah, to be fair, yes, but I often find that a lot of the lore hides some very tangible and maybe not perfectly scientific within the lines of what we understand now, but science doesn't know everything. I can fully admit that.
So real quick, the case studies that I noted down, were they how long of a span were they over?
He was researching stuff that happened before he was born, so he was talking to like older people about it, right down to talking to like kids who had recently experienced it.
I see. Okay.
Well, can I make a suggestion? I think I would feel most comfortable with either Grudge or Jack being the spirit guide in said situation. Obviously, Grudge is a very educated man, and if something were to go awry with our experience, that might be a pretty solid person to have, you know, sober on the front line, or Jack because he's a doctor. So it's kind of, that's my 2 cents.
Well, remember, Jack's not here right now.
Well, I know he's not here right now, but I'm saying whenever we decide to do that, that's, you know, that I would vote for one of those two people personally.
I tend to agree. I feel like we may have hit not a wall, but I think we've hit the as much as we can get from the library here.
It was successful, though. We've got a lot of information. I mean, it's still up in the air, but
yeah, of course. But before we just run off, maybe we should try and see if we can ask around. I don't have street contacts, but maybe you try to find out more about the current tenant of at least the property. It must have some sort of address or owner. I mean, we can check with the city who owns the deed. Try to get more information on that person.
I mean, I have some people I could call, try and get some information that way. Could ask around too, you know, make myself a little bit more useful.
Yeah, I feel like if we start investigating the small threads as we start to pull, they will start to unravel. Maybe we'll have a gander at the bigger tapestry, so to speak.
I thought I should mention what I found in the book over there. Rudolph relates everything that he found. I don't know if it is going to relate to us getting to that lodge at all, but sorry, that house. But it's good to keep in mind something in there could hurt us. Is all I'm saying.
All right. Did you mention a commonality in the source of these dreams? Was there any details or?
It was more of an implication, just with regards to. It was all in sort of just the way that he was writing about it. It felt like he was writing more about.
Are these case studies locals? Anyone we can reach out to and talk to?
It seemed to be all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, all over the place, but none of them here in this town.
Right.
Interesting. So there's a commonality of the dream, but it isn't. Okay, that throws my theory a bit off, then, doesn't it? Here I was thinking we had the one man responsible, but if these are happening elsewhere, I don't.
It may just mean that it's not unique. There could be a lot of people creating this sort of effect.
I guess that's fair.
I mean, if it is really just one big dream space that everyone could, potentially get connected to at any point, like, it does make sense.
No, I mean, I understand it makes sense in the collective consciousness kind of way. And
that's kind of what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, it does imply, though, that there is at least a singular point of, I don't even know if I'd call it an antagonist, but at least a single point of danger.
I would almost tend to think that maybe the source of it isn't the antagonist, but maybe that the antagonist is moving freely within this. Is it primordial or primal? Really quick. Primordial dream?
Primordial. Yeah, no, he was calling it primal for a bit. That's why I clarified earlier.
Yeah, primordial. In this primordial dream space, I feel like maybe there's just something or someone living there that's, using this as a quote-unquote base of operations to attack these people, prey on their fears for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe just for that he's a piece of shit. But
yeah,
I mean, something I don't think is that far out there. I mean, I've been in dreams before and I've been hurt by things. That's why I don't do it very often.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't have the experiences you have. But yeah, I guess I guess I tend to go to the more tangible. So I'd like to do a little more research on the current owner of the property there, if it's even on the books, and try to follow that thread. But yeah, we could always talk to some other folks. I guess once Jack comes back, we can also have him reach out to some of his colleagues, and maybe there's a common phenomenon happening with folks having similar dreams or similar reactions here in town, and maybe we can gather more information that way.
I'll work on the information gathering as well on my end, but one question, I guess, Devin, is, are any of the things required to do this particular ritual, like substances that would need to be obtained illegally, anything like that I would...
Well, most of them.
Okay, so I think Connor's going to focus on information gathering with his contacts and legal means, but also as well as trying to procure these substances.
I'll give you a shopping list.
Yeah, give me a shopping list. Part of it, I'm going to try and see if I can get from the police, because I know those motherfuckers got a bunch of confiscated shit. And I mean, technically we're on that payroll, so why not? And then two, I mean, we'll just go the normal, regular means of acquiring things.
Yeah, I would just, here, let me write you down a list. When you talk to the police, let me give you the chemical names of these things, so you don't go in there asking for like smack or dope or whatever it is. But with
Sir, I may not be a gentleman or a scholar, but I at least know some things about some things.
oh, this isn't about you, son. If you walk into a police office and start asking, "Hey, yo, can I get in y'all's evidence room and steal some of that dope?" I feel like they're gonna look at you a little funny, consultant or not.
I have a bit more tact than that, sir. I'm just going to go ask Rivera if we can get some of the stuff that we might need. That's all. And if he can't provide that shit for me, I'm not going to go asking a random cop if I can get dope from him. I'll just go, if I need dope, I can just go get that on my own. You know?
I mean, no offense. It's just we from the time I did spend with y'all weren't the most tactful, I should say.
Connor just kind of rolls his eyes. But, yeah, I think that's where I'm going to start. I think Connor just is like, all right, well, does anybody want to go with me to do that? Or can I just do that? Do you want me to just do that on my own? Or got to gather information. We have to do all kinds of stuff. So.
That's all right. You can, well, we can all go back to the police station while you do that. I'll look at, hopefully, get on a computer, look at county records and pull up deed names and anything I can find publicly.
Cool. Well, I'll hit that first, and if I can't get all the stuff I need in the evidence room, then I'll just go comb the street.
Did you want someone to come with you?
I mean, I don't care. I thought we were all going to go to the police station first, so.
Yeah, I feel we go there first, and I think Scott should accompany you. She could bat her eyes and get her way.
That's what I was thinking that, but I didn't.
That would be easier than catching assault charges. All right, yeah, let's make it happen then. Police station first, and then we'll go from there.
All right, and away we go.
So you guys are gonna go to the police station and try and buy drugs.
Well, no, I'm gonna go to the police station and try to get on one of their computers to try and find more information about the Patches home and who owns the current deed and so on and so forth.
And point of order, we're trying to go to the police. We're going to the police station to try and get free drugs.
Yeah. No, Connor's not going to just go in there and ask random cops for shit. He's going to go to Rivera specifically because he said, hey, whatever you need to get the shit done, let me know. And if there's an evidence locker room, whatever.
No, I heard the plan. I just wanted to make sure that. All right, yeah. So you guys head on down to the police station. There's cop cars out front and thick doors, cameras everywhere.
Before we go inside, Connor removes all of his illegal things and
that takes a good 2 solid minutes of just emptying pockets.
Pretty much.
Okay. So Dr. Grudge would know where to go. He leads you guys back and over to Rivera's office. Luckily, he's in.
Yeah, I'll point him at Rivera's office, but I want no part in this conversation. Okay. I'm gonna go sit at a computer.
All right. Yeah, Connor walks into Rivera's office then.
Yeah. So Connor walks in. He looks up. Mr. Ward, what can I do for you?
A couple things. One, what's that?
You got any weed?
Hey man, you'd be like cool if you did, man.
I'll suck your dick, man.
Where do you hide your weed?
Dick for weed. All right, look, I'm just gonna cut to the chase here, Rivera. I've got a couple things. Number one, I'm just gonna level with you. We did some research. Turns out that one of the ways that we can access the primordial dreamscape is by this ritual that involves hallucinogenic substances. And I have a shopping list here, and I was wondering if there's anything in particular that I could acquire from your evidence room that would save me the trouble of having to acquire it illegally. Being that, you said that whatever, means justify our ends here, and we're working for you, I thought that maybe you could help me out with that. And if that's not the case, then I can go do it on my own. But, you know, I'm an open book for you here, sir. So here we go. Let's make this shit happen.
Rivera will just slowly set down the paperwork he's working on, slide it over, lock eyes with you. Let's go ahead and move on to the second thing you need and pretend like that shit didn't just happen.
Are you fucking serious? You basically gave me permission to do some shit that I might need to do to get the job done. And I'm over here asking you for the shit that I need to do to get the job done.
Yeah, I'm saying you can follow a person without a detective license or, you know, ask for a quick favor. Maybe get you something out of the vending machine. I can give you... That's not how an evidence locker works. It's
Okay. What about breaking and entering?
What
about breaking and entering?
I'm saying that if a place was broken into so that you could gain some information and then plausibly deny that you were inside of it, I'd look the other way. But the best thing to do is almost never to walk into a police station and ask for permission to break into a place, because now I know you've done it, and I am implicated.
Maybe that's better for me. But that's a different situation. Look, now that I know that we're on the same page here,
I don't know that we are.
I think we are. I just think you don't know it yet. So I'm gonna go take a little trip and look around the police station really quick and see if I can find what I'm looking for.
I literally can't allow that to happen either.
I don't think you said that
Why
out loud.
can't you? You can allow a lot of shit to happen. You can allow.
I can't just let you traipse.
I pull him aside. I pull him aside. I pull.
Can I try to like fast talk him, charm him, anything? Can I try?
I pull Connor aside.
Other than actually.
Hold on, you're getting pulled aside.
I can't make
Connor
rolls
aside.
for this.
I pull Connor aside and pretty much get in his ear. He's pretty much saying we can do whatever the fuck we want and have a little leniency with him as long as we don't let him know so he can't arrest us.
You guys aren't too far from him, so he will just lean over and go, so I don't have to arrest you. Have to. It's not optional.
Fair enough. Well, I will be seeing myself out.
And you will not be committing crimes, yes?
No, we'll just be taking a stroll to the
Crime is
down the hall.
Committing crimes is such an ugly way to say things that I like to do.
Connor.
He's just going to look at Scott and go, please remove him from this office.
Let's go to the vending machine down the hall, okay?
As they're leaving, I lean in towards Officer Rivera and I say, "Hey, there was actually some. I'll make this quick. I promise. So the lodge. You guys see a lot of awful things. Yeah. Yeah.
Was that to me? Sorry.
Oh yeah. That I'm talking to the Officer Rivera.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay. So only Grudge didn't go in the room. Sorry, I also thought you were not in the room.
Oh no,
I thought I was in there by myself too. But I mean,
I said I followed Connor.
Okay.
All right.
I said I went in there with him. So.
Yeah. So yeah, did you hear any of that, Devin?
No, I need you to repeat all that. Sorry.
All right. So I'll try to prevaricate as much as I did before. So yeah, you guys, the lodge, you guys see a lot of awful things. Yeah.
Yes, we have seen some pretty terrible shit.
At the end of the day, sometimes you need to talk to someone, right?
I mean, yeah, sometimes we can be put on administrative therapy or other things.
Someone you can be frank with, right?
I don't like where this is going.
A person in particular that can be trusted not to commit you over some of the shit you see, right?
Unfortunately, that person, for me, is typically Miss Jenkins of the library. She's been around once or twice and knows how to deal with some of the heavier things that we encounter.
But probably not willing to help me.
Probably not a big fan. But I suppose I am here, not now. Now is a bad time.
Well, yeah.
But I suppose that I could lend a sympathetic ear.
I really need to talk to someone who knows this sort of thing.
Well, we have different members with different expertise, but again, I can lend a sympathetic ear, and depending on what it sounds like you need, as long as it's not like the things your very screwed up friend needs, it should all be fine.
There was one more thing, less psychological, and I show him the sketch. Do you recognize either of these people?
Yes and no. The man looks like other sketches my organization has seen before. I assume you saw him outside of the barn? Perhaps as you went in?
No.
No.
I was trying to draw a sketch of my wife and of that monstrous reptile that we encountered on the way there and back, and this is what happened.
The best I can explain this, your mind drew what your mind saw, but your hands drew what your eyes saw.
I'm not sober enough for this conversation, but thank you very much.
I suppose that's fair. This is what I get for hiring any of you. Please, also, out of the office.
Thank you for your help. And I leave.
Okay.
All right.
So, Eduardo, as you're looking through, what you do have access to look through on that, public records, people's addresses, it's fine. As far as you can tell, the spot where Patch's original house was, that's nowhere near the location where you guys encountered it. Not even close. Not even vaguely close. What is now listed as the original location of the founder's house is actually where the courthouse is now. So what the records claim is that his house was demolished and a courthouse was built on top of it.
Okay. All right.
Call it like the courthouse was erected
On
10, 20 years after his death. So the local courthouse is it has wings that are still like the original parts of it's been expanded and updated and whatever else, but parts of it are, the original courthouse from this town. Historic landmark kind of shit,
That's fair. Does the I guess if I'm investigating the courthouse, I'd like to know if it has any caretaker that might be there more often than not, or anything like that.
It's a courthouse. I mean, there's security guards and lawyers, judges, There's some local rednecks who probably spend more time there than some of the security guards do.
All right. Yeah, but it isn't one of those it's not like a historical place. It's got
it's more just like a place that has, this is one of the original standing walls and has a plaque on it, kind of thing.
All right, fair enough. That's a bit tricky then.
And no part of that historic stuff is his home. It's all landmarks of the courthouse that was built over it. The home was completely demolished.
All right. And
by a crocodile.
is there any any indication of what happened to the wood that was taken from?
No, the town was founded in. I had this in my notes. Where is it? 1879.
No, so it was founded a long time ago.
Yeah. So I mean, you can assume this stuff happened like that courthouse was probably built 1890, 1900, somewhere in that kind of range is when that was built. And so no, there are no records of that shit.
All right, that's fair. Okay, well, I'm gonna mull on that information a little bit. And is Connor done in the office, or has he walked out?
Connor is seeing how many doors he can open.
No, he's not. He's I think externally he's acting like an asshole. Internally, he's kind of a little irritated now that he has to go and do this the hard way. But he's also not a fucking idiot, and he's not going to try and steal from the police station. So, yeah, I think he probably just goes to meet up with Grudge and is like, yeah, so he basically said he'll turn an eye, but he's not. That's not how it works. He's not just going to let me take shit that I need, even if it's for a good cause, you know. So I think next I'm just going to go hit the streets. So I'm going to take the hooker with me. Yeah, I'll give you a call when I'm done.
That's fair. Yeah, my research isn't proving to be very fruitful at the moment.
What did you find out?
It seems like I might have been way off. The cabin, or sorry, the barn was demolished a long time ago when they built a courthouse on top of it. So I'm not quite understanding if there could be like a tie to a physical place or whatnot for this. So there's also no records of the site ever being bought by anyone else.
Do you think that maybe like well, do you think it's like bullshit, like maybe the real house still exists, or do you think it's then it is like they say it is, and if we need to go to this actual place to do this ritual, then that's the place we need to go? You're telling me we need to take a shit ton of hallucinogenic drugs in a courthouse?
Well, no. As far as I understand it, the ritual does not need to be at at the site of anything. You're crossing over. I would suggest it's in a controlled environment and somewhat safe. But yeah, I don't think we need to be there. I just thought that maybe if the suspicion is that there's a current occupant of the barn, that maybe we can talk to him before he's all ghouly and lizard-like, as y'all say.
Maybe the person we're looking for works at the courthouse. Maybe that's the dream association. Things over there are always different than they are over here, but at least they share some similarity.
Yeah, I thought as much, so I tried to look into if the courthouse had some sort of caretaker or somebody that's there like all the time, to be able to really provide a bit of a psychological anchor for what we're looking for. But I couldn't find anything like that.
All right, well, I can make a pass over there too, see if or at least I can call some people, see if I can get some information that way, and we both could.
A quick question there, Rudolph. Was Connor in the office when you showed off the sketch? Is he aware of it?
Yeah.
No.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I wish I could just gather more information on who this person is. Like, there's suspicions about them, but they sound to be pretty strong person. I've got no clues of where else to look at the moment.
Well, this is a long shot, but did you happen to see somebody who looked like this, and he's going to show him the sketch but folded over, so it just shows the man.
I mean, we can try and actually, Connor, you might be better suited for this. Do any of your contacts? I've exhausted mine. It's called searching on the computer, but do any of your contacts maybe you could find this person or know what they look like? Oh, well, not what they look like, but where maybe we could find them to have a conversation.
Is my phone working right now? Do I have a cell phone? No.
No, you know you guys haven't reestablished any of that.
Grudge, you have one though, right?
Yeah, I have a mobile.
Okay. Connor's gonna look at you and be like, "Can I borrow that real quick?"
Sure.
So the first thing he's gonna do is he's gonna take a photo of just that specific part of the drawing. So it's gonna be like, "Yo, Rudolph, that's really fucking good. You should sell these or something."
Not this one, but yes, thank you.
Is it all right if I send this to some people? Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could help.
All right. Connor is okay. First off, do I recognize the person in this photo at all, or no? Or in this?
You do not.
Okay. So Connor is going to try and use his contacts in the underworld to, I guess, just try and, acquire more information about this person maybe. If that fails, I think he's going to try and just go to the courthouse, look around, but he needs to make some pit stops to pick some stuff up anyway.
So, you're turning to leave right now?
I think first he's going to try and get in contact with some people, but I'm not sure how to work that out.
So before any of you guys can do anything else, Rivera's actually going to step out of his office. He'll flag down Connor and come here. So as you walk over, he grabs a piece of paper and just kind of presses it against your chest. This is a guy we have used for information before. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying maybe he knows about things that you're curious about. Give him a call. Do not use my name. And then he'll just turn and leave.
You got it, officer.
Check. So, written on the piece of paper, it's a name and a phone number.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like, it's written, stop being a fucking creep.
Just the words, you need to leave.
Job, hippie.
You need to leave the station now.
Question: so if I have like 2 dots in contacts, like is this something I'm going to use in tandem with that, or is that?
You can try, but just know you'll probably take a penalty right now for having been gone 2 years.
Fair enough. Okay.
The name written on the paper is George Fuentes.
Okay.
George with a J.
All right. So, question. Also, like game mechanic wise, like so because we've been gone for 2 years, that 2 points I have in contacts is pretty much useless then.
Things like that are going to be temporarily nerfed.
Okay.
You will reestablish these things hours after you come back from being missing. Penalty.
That's fine.
Or even
right,
a couple days.
And maybe I can establish some type of rapport with this guy, so that'll qualify and meet that requirement. What's his George Fuentes, right?
George Fuentes, George with a J.
Jorge?
Oh,
Yeah, I believe that's Jorge.
yeah, that would be Jorge.
Not in Oregon, it's not.
That's like that bullshit Jeff with a G. That shit spells G off, you son bitch.
Yeah.
It's a goof.
It's a GIF.
My coworker tried to talk to me about how much he loves po-soul soup the other day, Eddie.
So,
And I was like, motherfucker, dude.
To be fair, for anyone who's not from like California, yeah, that's a little confusing one. Or things like
oh, pozole, yeah, for sure. But then also at the same time, like I tried to say aioli or aioli or however the fuck you pronounce it.
Aioli.
That's some white people shit. I don't fucking know what that means.
to
Do you
be fair,
make pho from your foes?
Huh?
Do you make pho from your foes?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
I hate
actually weirdly sure that aioli is not white people shit.
Okay, so do I need to look this person up, or do I call him? Was there a number?
Yeah, there was a number right there.
For the
Okay.
record, aioli is Mediterranean, so
Yeah.
distinctly not white people shit.
It depends on how white you think Italians are.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, I thought it was at some Italian shit.
Is it this kind of Italian?
Yeah.
White.
Aioli. Aioli. Okay. Connor's gonna call the phone number.
Yeah, you get a call. Guy answers, he goes, "Hey man, what you need?"
I'm looking for somebody in particular.
Well, you've got somebody in particular.
All right. Is there a way that I can meet up with you, show you a couple photos, see if you can find this person for me? There's also a couple things I need to pick up.
Nah, I'm not looking at any photos. That's not what this is.
Okay. Well, I guess I read him off my list. Is it? Are you the guy who can get some of this stuff for me?
As Grudge gets slightly irritated that he's making drug deals on my fucking mobile device.
In the middle of a police station.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I'm not doing it like loudly. I'm doing it discreetly.
I'm quiet in the police station making a drug deal. I'm so bad at this. Luckily, the guy on the phone doesn't know that. Yeah, man, I got you.
Oh, word. All right. Where you want to meet?
He rattles off a location. I'm not
Cool. All right. Undisclosed amount of money. Cool. Good to go.
Yeah. He gives you an amount you need to meet. It's a little expensive. Like some of this stuff, this is not like, oh yeah, fucking buy some weed, $20. Like,
Can I try and whittle him down? Like, is there a way that I could like haggle him a little bit, or at least
maybe once you in person we can go over all that.
Well, I was gonna say, or like, is there like something I could roll to even like know if that's worth like what he's selling me, like so I'm not getting screwed, kind of thing.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, like streetwise wits.
That's 100% streetwise.
This ain't your grandma's methyl
Yeah.
ethyl ketone.
All right, so
Fucking time. Yeah, I've been trying to use this skill
That's
for
that
forever.
good blue meth.
so
Would there be-
out of character there, Squid. We're buying drugs, just so you know.
So out of curiosity, would he take a penalty that because he doesn't know the current prices?
2 years, the drug prices aren't going to fluctuate that
I'm gonna
much.
say, it's still the same shit.
What-
Well, honestly, I have no idea about the drug world, so yeah, okay.
Hey, what's the rate of inflation on blow these days? No, could I? Okay, so this is the best roll I've gotten in a while, and it's still not that great, but it's 4 successes.
Ooh.
4 successes. He's a little over. Like, sure, the stuff is hard to get. He's a little overpriced. Not a lot, but a little.
Connor makes a mental note to haggle with him when he gets there to pick it up.
All right.
But yeah, so
Grudge,
I'm just gonna go get it then.
Grudge makes a mental note that he needs to buy burner phones for these fuckers.
He's like, "Fuck yeah!"
Greg makes a mental note never to bring them back to the police station again.
Pretty much. Yeah. On my way out, I'm gonna make a I'm sorry and thumbs up to the detective as we walk out.
Most of them just roll their eyes at this point.
It's just because I feel safe here, you know.
Detective Rivera makes a mental note to hire better help.
Hey, you know what? I did just fine for 2 years.
Not talking about
That's great before you all showed up.
Yeah.
Okay, I go to pick up the drugs.
All right, is everybody going with him for this?
No.
I'm bringing. No, fuck that. I'm bringing the hooker.
I was gonna say, I believe like Sky should come along. I think she'll help with the negotiations.
You gotta pull your weight, Toots. You gotta pull your weight.
Bradley, go away. Okay.
Rudolph is following Dr. Grudge on this one.
Yeah.
Rudolph is?
Following Dr. Grudge.
Okay, Grudge,
Yeah,
where are you going?
Yeah, I guess I'm just fucking Christ. So while he's off that, I'm gonna start trying to look into a couple more things now that I'm not focused on bringing them back. I'd like to focus on I kind of just want to see if there's been reports of occult activity in the town, and some of it, you know, the weird myths or any of that, if any of that made it to the papers or any of the internet interwebs forums.
So there are two things you would be aware of. Where is it? Okay, so there is a local reporter that you can go talk to. You know, Channel 6, local news, Choppa 5. The reporter's name is Takako Wyrick.
All right.
Takako Wyrick. Japanese Irish from the sound of it. You're welcome.
Wait, say that last name again.
Wyrick. Wyrick.
Are we just standing outside the police station at this point?
I think you guys are still in the police station. There is also a local podcaster who runs a podcast about like mysterious going-ons in the town. His name is Brendan Tyndall.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I want to be like leaving to go get drugs now.
Okay.
I think we
Squid,
all
what were
like
you doing?
To go get drugs now.
I was asleep after finding out I had a kid.
Well, like you
You're
have.
talking about in game.
Yeah, I was
Sorry.
like, wait, you have one?
I'm sorry, I'm not awake.
You have one, or you gonna have one? Because we just talked about this too.
I don't know if it's mine, but she had one as of 4:50 on Monday morning.
And you have what they legally refer to as plausible deniability.
And you
My name's
have.
not on anything.
Well, you have a good case for a paternity test.
That kid don't even look like me, Mr. Povich.
Oh my god, dude! I've never heard a kid scream so much. I already
See,
went,
then you're so quiet. That doesn't sound anything like you. I'll back you up, bro.
Nah, he's been hanging
I've
out
never
with me.
heard him make a sound.
Nah, he's been hanging out with me for 9 months. I have no idea what the fuck you talking about. So yeah, in
Sorry, I
game.
genuinely thought you were talking about in real life.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
go
I don't
with
actually
Colin.
care about your real life, but that's adorable.
we only give a fuck about IRL when the camera's turned off.
I'll go with Connor.
Okay. So, Grudge and Rudolph, Connor,
I'm like his
Squid.
security guard for his deal. I'll be like the one that like it's Connor and Sky, right? And they're like walking up, and she's being all like fancy, whatever, ho-ish.
Guy, are you going with them? They can say they're bringing you, but your character is you are your own person. What are you doing?
You're an independent woman.
Or not? That's also fine.
Sky, did we lose you?
I'm here.
Okay, what are you doing?
I was dealing with something on my side. I don't know exactly what's going on at the exact moment that we're at.
Connor, Squid going for the drug deal.
I'm going to the drug deal.
You are going to drug deal? Okay.
That girl.
I'm going to the hoedown.
I
Oh,
mean,
you're gonna hold down.
I can sweeten the pot a little bit.
There you go.
I'm just gonna stand there and look intimidating.
All right. Well, we've only got like 10 minutes left, and I've never been in a good drug deal that only took 10 minutes. So let's call it there for the week, and we will pick up with a drug deal next week. Does that work for everybody?
That sounds fantastic. You know what? Someone write this shit down. Like, literally, up next,
Next week,
drug
drug
deal.
deal.
on the next episode of Carpenter.
Set an alarm that'll go off while you're at work, reminding you of the drug deal.
Yeah, that's
I
fantastic.
was gonna say write it down on a piece of
Alert,
paper
drug
in
deal.
a notebook, bring it to work, and then drop it and forget it.
No, that reminds me of the story. Remember when we Bonds and I used to work together, and we were at a restaurant, and the game Payday 2 had just come out, and we were at an outdoor cafe. It was an Indian food place, and we're having all these conversations about all the cops we're shooting and the vaults we're breaking into and money and shit.
People you need to kidnap or shoot before they can make noise and call the police.
It was very. I mean, let's just say the tables around is cleared pretty fast.
Yep.
All right. On that note, thanks for watching this episode. Sorry it's a little shorter than usual. we started a bit late. But yeah,
But also, fuck you.
because we love you. We'll fuck you because we love you. All right.
That's the reason too, folks.
Bye.